All right, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption there. Um, just had a couple things to go take care of. That stuff is done now, so let's finish painting this thing, man. And let's look at this thing. My orange is so close to the same color that you can at this moment in time, you can barely see the difference between this one and this one. But anyway, we'll get there, and I will make these brighter and brighter. And I'm trying to remember where I was. Was I here? I think I did. I think I just did that one. I guess I'll try to do the same thing and keep you guys up close and personal on this if that's possible. But that did give this time to dry up a little better. Which is pretty nice. And we got two back. Like I said a little bit ago, sorry for having to leave. Shut this thing down. Just had a few things to go take care of. Nothing big and scary or life threatening or anything like that. Life just kind of happens sometimes. See if I can paint over the top of this camera. Trying to paint over the top of that camera is kind of tough though. Hi again, glad to have you back. Probably lost half of everybody since that happened, but that's okay. People can come back and catch up with the uh, live on live viewing once it's done. Yeah, very, very true. So basically, I'm right back where we left off, just bringing this lighter color orange in and staying out of these center valleys here. So we leave that darker color down into the bottom and create this gradient. Once we get this even lighter, it's really going to start coming to life and looking like something. All right, I'm going to back this camera up a little bit. I know I'm probably going to get in your way. Some of you guys want to see another close-up view. Holler at me or post it on there. I see it. We'll move it back in again. It's just kind of hard to work over the top of the camera. I'm going to go all the way around this with the slider color orange, and we're going to lighten it up again and continue to move on. I tell you what, though, in the middle of that, everything that's going on, my daughter, she's out of school for the summertime. She works for we got a little public library here in town, and so I had to go pick her up as well once kind of noon ran around because she just got her learner's permit, so she can't drive yet by herself to and from work. But anyway, I went to go pick her up. Well, she had texted me to see if I was going to pick her up or if she was going to have to walk home, because it's actually not very far from the house. 4 or 5 blocks. Our little town's not a big deal, but since I had already shut down the live stream, I told her I'd go pick her up. As soon as I left and kind of went a couple blocks down, turned around the corner, there was just big time black smoke. Something was like major on fire, and as I was going, I honestly thought the library had caught on fire, which for just a moment I was really pretty nervous that that's what had happened. Anyway, there was a house just right across the street from the library there, and either the garage in the back, something, anyway, it literally just caught on fire. Like when I pulled up to pick her up, the police were just showing up, and I got there before even both fire trucks showed up. But man, it was really wanting to take off, and it's hot here. I was like, it feels like it's 1,000 degrees outside. So that fire was just going. I haven't heard any updates on that yet, on what happened, but I haven't been looking for it yet either. Pretty crazy. Yes, Berlina, I'm just hitting the higher parts right now and leaving the lower, but I'll see if I can see this. I am still coming down like quite a little ways into that, where I'm just leaving, let's say like the thickness of this brush, basically. I'm kind of leaving a spot about that thick in the center that I'm not painting over. And as we lighten this up, the spot that I don't paint will become whiter and whiter. Right? And then what we're painting, we'll be painting basically less and less of our pumpkin, right? Creating these highlights. And then doing this transition, I can't talk with this orange. It just makes a cool gradient down to that dark color. It looks kind of natural. I picked up learning how to do this technique watching some guys that just paint miniatures, like for Dungeons and Dragons games and stuff. And those guys use airbrushes and whatnot, and some of the guys use little bitty brushes, but it's how they were explaining how they were doing some gradients and things, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So the first thing I tried to adopt it to was these pumpkins. And I really like the way it looks. It does take a lot longer to paint it this way, but I feel like the end result is just awesome. Go ahead and get these top side again. Hey, Hollywood Hunter, awesome. Thank you. Glad you stopped by to say hi. Hopefully you don't bore yourself this evening just trying to watch this live thing, but for any of you guys that are watching now, if you don't know who Hollywood Hunter is on YouTube, you guys should. Gina and Chris, they are super awesome people. They make some amazing things. They make a lot of bigger stuff like facades and things like that, and they're just the detail and things that are in that are just incredible. So if you guys who follow me don't have them, you need to go look up Hollywood Hunter on YouTube. Check out some of their videos, and they got lots of videos too from way back in the past, like me as well. Go hit those guys up and give them a sub. Start following them. They're full of awesome and good information too. They just released a video the other day. They're building a mausoleum or a crypt, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be real big and awesome. See, there's things like that. Like, I want to make some big stuff like that to go in the yard. But I always find myself making these things like pumpkins and stuff like that. Even after every year, I tell myself I'm going to do some big facade work. I never seem to get it done. One of these days. So many irons in the fire. Yeah, the heat sucks. I know you guys are working on that prop out there in the heat. That blows. And yes, mine are much easier to store than your guys's. That's the only thing that cracks me up every single time. Like, dang, your backyard just got to be full of all kinds of crazy stuff. And how awesome to grow up in that too, right? Like the Ghostbusters deal you guys made and everything else, and then just all the, you know, big props and big set things that are scattered around back there. Like I was looking in the video, I could see a couple of the big pumpkins you guys made a few years ago, just hanging out in the back and all that stuff. It's kind of been the same for my kids around here. Generally, there's always something that I've made, and it's either in a corner in the living room or dining room somewhere. You know, there's always something that's there. Even after a year, if I get everything kind of put away, when I make something new, it'll just kind of live in the living room and dining rooms until Halloween hits. As a matter of fact, that Pumpkin Demon, that's where he's living right now, is upstairs in the living room. Yeah, but that's awesome. I mean, I don't. It's a right in down here in this little bitty space. It's a project jungle for me too. I've got a lot of unfinished junk going on. I've even got this, and I've talked about it so many times. I got this rabbit over here. I need to finish up this crazy Easter bunny. That project made me mad and just kind of stopped. And I shouldn't do that. I got frustrated with it and then quit working on it. But really, he only needs paint and haired, and then that thing would be done for a video. But I don't know. I filmed some crazy stuff at the beginning of that one to kind of do some kind of dorky stuff again, and I got a little bit of some backlash on the dorkiness I did on this last man-eating plant video, so I may need to redirect some of that stuff. I don't want to lose viewers and subscribers. I want to gain viewers and subscribers. And teach people how to do this, but at the same time, be halfway entertaining. That's awesome. Yeah, bags and bags of wool stuff everywhere, and that's part of a problem too, because I keep ah, like if we go to Walmart or the grocery store and those plastic bags, I keep a lot of those plastic bags. I don't use them to make pumpkins out of anymore, but I do use them in different projects, or even like paper towel rolls. Right when a paper towel is done, for a lot, I don't throw. I keep a lot of that stuff so I can make something out of it. And there's been some times here lately where it seems like it's been forever since I've used a paper towel roll or something else that I almost feel like a hoarder. But I just know what I do with Mache and stuff that, I mean, a paper towel roll is a good way to start an arm or a leg on a creature or something. There's you can incorporate those so many different ways. Oh, I don't know. I lightened it up again, so I added some more orange to this. So this time around, I'm staying further away from the inside so we keep that gradient going on. This next time around, I'm going to start adding yellow to this paint so we can really start to lighten this up. And once we start adding the yellow to this, you're really going to start seeing a difference, the gradient pull through on this paint. And like I said before, since the paint's lightened up even more, I'm staying a little bit further away from these recesses. I want to keep those recesses dark or darker, so when this is all said and done, it shows up. And I'm even kind of being sloppy here, right? I'm not really trying to fill in right now. And here, I know I've got some a little bit darker in there. So I'm just kind of almost like dry brushing, but not still wet brushing, but being very light. I don't want paint getting down in there. I want to try to keep some of that darker detail down in there around the face. And as I lighten the color up, I'll even do like more and more where I'm really trying to stay away from some of those recesses. And I'm trying to avoid coming back over it all with some kind of a dark wash again to pull out that extinction, but you can. I mean, that's another way to paint these things as well. I mean, you can get your colors on here and stuff, and then you could hit it with a like a rattle can clear coat, let that dry up, and then you could come right back over it with another dark wash or some kind of an ink or whatever, and stain onto it, and then pull with a paper towel or something and pull everything else off and let all that darkness go into all those recesses and stuff, and then seal that up again. That would also bring out a lot of the texture in these towels too. And that may be something I don't do today, but that may be something I play around with on this one just to see if it adds that much more to it. Yeah, I can agree with that. Being an artist is a hoarder, especially when you're not the typical artist and you're not just buying, new supplies to make art from. You're basically recycling. And I'm going to pull this up pretty bold with the lighter oranges and yellows when I do this, because as it dries, it really will darken itself back down again. And I want to see some good distinctions between it and the spar urethane I have right now. Does have a tint in it. So I'm going to over exaggerate my brighter colors to compensate for that tint. I wish I wouldn't get a copyright strike from YouTube and be able to play any kind of music in the background right now. I think that's pretty much the only thing I can say I miss when I do these live classes is having some music in the background or something playing. I can really just let go and dive into it. But see, that's where I need you guys to talk, ask questions, keep me entertained. Right? So it's a two-way street. We'll do it this way. I'm trying to teach you something that maybe you don't know, or maybe you already do know, but I'm trying to show you what I do. And if it helps out, it helps out. And so your job is to keep me entertained during this point in time so I don't go because it's so quiet. Because I can't listen to music. And moving right back over to the top. We're getting herself all the way around, pumpkin top, bottom, sides, Every bit of it. Mm-hmm. It's so hot and dry outside here. All the grass is just dead, burnt, and crunchy. I was complaining that I was sweating before down here, and then when I had to leave earlier, went outside. Oh my god, it was hot, 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 hot. All right, I'm gonna use a little heat gunnage here again and dry this down some more. Lauren, yes. As a matter of fact, I've made a pumpkin spider. I don't know. Can I? I don't know if I could do that. I would post a link to it, but I don't think I can get off of here and find one of my videos and send it. But I made a pumpkin spider, and there is a video on YouTube on this channel showing the basics of how I did it. It's not like a real good tutorial, but it's not like a jokey clowny thing either. It just kind of blows through it pretty quick, I guess, quick in a way. Um, but if you've done any type of work like this and you watch that, you'll be able to pick up on it pretty easy and figure out what I did. I'm going to mute this real quick, and we're going to hit this with the heat gun. Okay, got that a little bit drier, so that's going to help out. I don't know if this camera's picking it up. Yeah, maybe it is. To the naked eye, I can starting to see some difference between here and here. Very light. That means I've kept my colors pretty close to the same, which is Good if you really want that natural gradient. But I want to pull the gradient up a little bit faster, so I'm not here just all day long doing this paint scheme. So you could spend forever doing this, depending on how artistic you want to get and how much time you want to spend. So I'm going to put some yellow in this. Man, I haven't seen Axeman on here the past couple nights. This thing back here, which we did in a live deal, I got him sealed up now for weather protection, and I'm going to be shipping him to California, EIA. Once I get him bagged up and figure out how much that's going to cost. He's going to go to Axeman. He was really interested in it, and he's been a huge supporter of the channel too. So that's the least I can do. That's something I'm going to be doing too, and I might even do it with this pumpkin. I don't know. I'm getting close to, it's getting close to Halloween. I act like I need a whole lot more props out in the yard. I want to do another giveaway. I did a giveaway for the patrons again. I want to do another giveaway for those people that are on Patreon. I'm thinking about wanting to do another giveaway or a giveaway for just you guys as subscribers to the channel that come and put up and watch my stuff and some of my antiques, especially with, this last one, where I was being a total nut, and some of you guys went ahead and powered through that. So I need to get off my butt and get to building a lot more. Right now, my full-time job is heating and air, and there's just been this past couple weeks, it's been so hot, and I've been so drained by the time I've gotten home that I haven't wanted to spend. I didn't just been lazy. I didn't want to spend any time working on any projects, man. The sun just really zaps that out of you. Yeah, I can agree with that. You can always buy props, Costco, whatever, Home Depot, and things. And man, there's some cool ones out there. But there is something about creating your own that you can literally just sit there and no one else has that prop, and just be proud of what you made. You know, that's what I always kind of find cool. My yard display or haunt, it's not the biggest thing in the world, and I definitely need to do some facade work like Hollywood Haunter and those guys do. But that being said, I don't have a whole lot of props. I got enough, but over the past, I don't know, 5 to 6 years, I have been able to pretty much dwindle the props down that go into my yard to being only props that I've made and not props that are bought from anywhere else. And I think that's cool. You know, not to say that I wouldn't like to have some killer props from like Distortions or something like that or whatever, because they make some amazing stuff too. But there's just something about looking at everything in your yard and just that satisfaction of knowing that you create all those monsters out there are things that you created. I find that fun. All right, so I don't know if I told you, hopefully I did. I added some orange this time. Added some orange. I added some yellow to our orange this time to start lightening up our orange paint even more. So now we should start seeing, or hopefully on camera, you should start seeing some difference in those transitioning colors between this darker stuff we already have down and this lighter, um, yeah, and the lighter orange now should make it's a big difference to the naked eye. Yeah, I'm after see, and I want to make. I like that thing too, but for 100, what that's really not too bad price. Um, it can be challenging. The bigger things you make, the more challenging it gets to be. I wanted to do for a long time. I wanted to make a pumpkin that was huge. That was so big the kids basically it could either sit on the sidewalk or sit right in front of the house, right in front of the little porch thing I got, where you actually walk into the mouth of the pumpkin to either go through it to enter the yard, or you walk into the mouth of the pumpkin to get your candy. Right, just some great huge pumpkin. I think that'd be awesome, and make a cool freaking YouTube video too as well. Um, that's why if you guys are on Halloween Paper Mache, you'll see that Chip Wells was showing a big clown he'd been creating. He uses it's called a Barth Mache. Pretty sure that's how it's called. Anyway, I'm gonna try to talk to Chip this weekend, kind of pick his brain, find out exactly what kind of glue is being used. I know that basically everything's like big cardboard and stuff, and I know it's the same type of situation that they use to like do floats and parades and things like that. So I think if I was going to do some giant pumpkin, that would probably be the route to go. I just think it would look. How cool would that be to pull up to a house, just have a giant pumpkin that you got to go up to get your Halloween candy out of, with a whole bunch of other little minion pumpkins and pumpkin demons and all this stuff, all these pumpkin creatures and critters all around it. That would just be awesome. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to look that up to see it for sure. Shane's a giant like stack of pumpkins, 8-foot pumpkin. I'm gonna have to look that up. Is that new for this year? I mean, I know last year they had that like I guess it was like a 12-foot pumpkin guy, kind of representing off their 12-foot skeleton that they had. I'll have to look that up. And once again, I know I've said this 1,000 times since I've lightened the orange up. Oh, come here. We're staying further and further away from down in these valleys. As much as the inside of this thing's been smacking around in that Pringles can, I'm sure I'll have to go back in and hit a little white inside the pumpkin, but that'll be on the very top side of the pumpkin inside there, which won't be a big deal as long as I don't have to try to paint white again behind any parts of the cutouts for the eyes or mouth or anything, because I don't want any white to come back out and bleed through on this orange paint. See, there's so much texture with this cotton ball. I don't know. I go back and forth. Well, these cotton balls, there's so much texture in this, and sometimes I'm just like, man, maybe it is better to just go with an orange or whatever, and then come back and just hit this hard with a wash that you pull away and just really pull out all these crevices and stuff. I think that would add so much too. So I might do that on this one. After all this we do today dries up, I might hit this with a clear coat and then come back in and do another wash over the top of everything and just really see how much that it's either going to look neat or I'm going to kill it. Either way, but I mean, shoot, that's the experiment, right? I'm going to have to look up that pumpkin stack thing. That sounds pretty freaking cool. Man, that bristle's just, these bristles are almost too stiff. And that's probably what I get for buying cheap brushes. I've seen a few of you guys that have been building along have sent me some pictures and stuff, and they look really awesome. That's something when this is all done. I guess even you guys that are kind of doing it, I know there's a few of you that are doing it, but you're kind of like behind a few steps or whatever. Uh, I need to give this like 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, and if I can get everybody that's built one of these, like to email me a picture um, of your pumpkin and what you've done, I would love to like just put together a YouTube video showing off the work that you guys have done on this. I think it'd be super awesome. That'd be super awesome. I need something way softer. Maybe I should just use that. That's way softer. I'll use that in a minute. What do we got going on? What do we got? Ha! Lauren, no, that's awesome. I've always aspired to more. I mean, if you made something that big and then wanted to make it move, there's ways to do that with different animatronics or different using uh, crap, using air pressure and things, and even guys out there with just reindeer motors or windshield wiper motors and some rope and different things and pulleys to make things move. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on that stuff too. Um, you go look some of these people up, and you can really come up with a lot. That's my problem right there. I've been stirring up my paint, and I haven't kept this tray clean enough, and it's releasing some old dry paints. And that's getting mixed up with my paint that I'm trying to put on this pumpkin. How wonderful is that? I kept seeing these little pieces that I kept picking off, coming off my brush, and now I know where they came from. Just added a little more yellow, lightening this up even more, and further away from the valleys of this thing. Yeah, see, there's another little piece of chunky paint in there. Kept seeing these things start floating around in my paint. I was trying to figure out what was coming from. I couldn't figure out if I was pulling paint away from the pumpkin itself or what was happening. Now I know. Now I know. And now we should really start seeing some. See right there, there's a piece of that paint. Some pretty good difference. Um, Between the orange paint that's going on now and what's already been placed on this thing. Mm-hmm. So this method of painting too is the exact same way that I painted that pumpkin demon. For those of you that have seen the pumpkin demon and have any idea what I'm talking about, um, I've thrown that guy up there in some different Facebook pages, groups here past few days, and that drummed up a lot of questions. A lot of people kind of liked that paint job. Um, Big comments on that stuff. So this exact way of painting right here is the exact way that I uh, painted that dude. Oh my gosh. I need to clean my stuff up more. I'm getting a lot of paint trash. Old paint trash all over this. We did already we highlighted that. We're getting there. I don't know if you can see on video yet. We are definitely creating a pretty darn good transition from darker to lighter. Do do do. Yeah, I like the no nose look too. Uh, so I do a lot of the no nose look on my pumpkins as well, but then I also do a lot of them with noses. So I try to mix back and forth on these things. So in the yard, there's things that look like closer to a traditional pumpkin, and then ones that don't look so much like traditional as well. And with pumpkins, I'm always trying to come up with uh, different ways, different faces, how to make some look more sinister than others. You know, all that type of stuff. We are definitely starting to get somewhere now. Yeah, I've seen some of that felt punch stuff. That's pretty interesting. That looks like it's a fun, uh, a fun craft to do. I think you can definitely get yourself to a finished product way faster than I can. There's a big, huge chunk of paint right there. Man, I wish I could scrape out. I wonder if I can get some of this stuff out of here. Well, let's just. Well, I hope I get close to matching this paint up because I'm going to scrape this paint that's coming loose out the bottom here. Scraping this junk out of here because I'm tired of it coming in, getting into my brush. And we'll see how close I can get back to matching up this color I just had. Because we're getting a pretty good transition, but these these paint chips that keep flaking off here getting in this are annoying me. I don't know. On that still looks like just a solid orange, but let's get some more light on this, maybe. Can you see? When I'm looking at the camera, it is very, very hard to tell the color transition. But it is for sure here in the naked eye. So we're going to lighten this up even more. And that way maybe it's easier to see. On there. And here we go again. A whole nother round of orange. all over again. This time quite a bit lighter than the last time. Tell you what, that when I really painted that last round on there, it looked what I thought to be quite a bit lighter, and she's darkened up quite a bit. That it blended in so close that it looks like it was almost the same color. But I promise it's not. It's a lot lighter. I mean, basically, this orange now doesn't have any of that brown left in it from the beginning. And now we're just oranges and yellows. This should start popping out on the camera soon where you can see a difference in the color. But this camera too doesn't seem to pick these colors up very well. I know the last time I did some painting, you couldn't see the colors. I had to take a picture with my phone and post it. That way everybody could really see the difference. It might be too that this is really still pretty wet. So I'm probably pulling in some of those deeper, darker colors into this lighter stuff. And also maybe what's helping to create this uniform look, or muddied up look, I guess. Yeah, now we're starting to see a difference in this. You 7 that are still here watching, you guys are awesome. Still amazed at those of you that will sit and watch a lot of this stuff. I mean, because from everything I see, like trying to learn about YouTube, that basically in the first 8 seconds you'll lose people. Like you got to be so entertaining in the first 8 seconds that most people will shut off and quit watching your stuff within 8 seconds of having a look at what you're doing. That just seems crazy to me. I just feel like that's a lack of patience. 8 seconds is pretty quick. Who was talking about? Let's go back. Lauren. So yeah, back on the spiders, Lauren. The one that's a pumpkin spider that I made. He's big, but he's not like. He's not huge. He wasn't like the ones at Home Depot or whatever, that were like real big. He would definitely be a crazy big spider if you saw one in real life, but he wasn't super big. That video may help give you some ideas on what to try, maybe what to try to do. I don't know. And then I might not have made him big enough for you to look at that and even get anything good out of it. Add more yellow. Yeah, I agree that looping it is all about everybody's like instant gratification at this point in time. But you really can't learn. You're right. You can't learn things fast. And so here's my big debate. So the 7 of you that are, or 6 of you here that are still with me watching this stuff live, right? Of course, I have a goal trying to grow a YouTube channel and stuff, and do more with my art, and where I can do this more, maybe even make it into a full-time job, whatever career with my art. That's every artist's dream, right? So that being said, getting past all that, my biggest debate has been when I've been doing my YouTube videos, my standard videos, not these live things. My original videos, my older videos that came out were all basically like true to life tutorials just to teach people, because originally I had a website that I was trying to get everybody to, and that went over like a sack of rocks. When I first did that, I had so many people commenting why they would pay $1 or $2 a month to watch me do anything when they could see it on YouTube for free. So anyway, that being said, those first ones were real tutorials, and then some of these have grown into are kind of tutorials or whatever, more entertainment type of thing. As someone who's following the channel, What do you guys like more? Do you like videos that are 30 to 40 minutes long in sections that kind of go over armature and then, all these other ways where it's broke down and go back through and watch it over again? Or do you prefer these ones where, because it takes, like, when I film these things, I'll have like 10 or 12 hours worth of footage, and then I take some of those and I break them down to, they're not really a tutorial, but if you've done this stuff, you can kind of get the idea, and they're like 15 minutes or 20 minutes from start all the way to finish, where you see the finished product at the end. The original videos I did, step one would be all about making the armature or whatever. Step two would be filling out details, da 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 da. Step three or four until you got to the point where it was done. And then these other videos I've been doing are more like, here's the beginning. Takes you all the way through from beginning to completion in about 20 minutes. There's not a whole lot of teaching that goes on with it. I guess it's more of a kind of an entertainment value, I want to say. What do you guys prefer? Would be my question. Would you rather come to YouTube and there's some kind of deal on my channel where it's like, oh, let's see what, has he made anything cool lately? And it's a 20-minute video on a new deal that was made that just kind of shows what I made and isn't really a tutorial? Or would you rather say tutorial style? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Trying to figure out all that stuff, right? And even like with the Patreon group or whatever, trying to be, maybe I should be more tutorial towards those guys. I don't know. I'm just picking you guys' brains for some ideas, if you can't tell. Bye, Lauren. Glad you stopped by. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Too bad she doesn't have a YouTube channel. It'd be neat to see some of her work. I've seen some of that felt crafting work on the YouTubes and other places. It's all pretty neat. I have an appreciation for all kinds of art type stuff. A lot of guys I follow, I like, that aren't just Halloween guys either. Like I don't know if any of you guys that follow me. There's a dude called Jazza. Draw with was called Draw with Jazza. Now it's just Jazza. He's out of Australia. Stuff. When I first started watching him, he was just drawing, and he got into doing more. He got into doing some sculpting and stuff and things like that, and then has picked up. He's always had a hobby of tabletop games, so they've done some stuff like that. And then Bill making stuff. He's got some. He's got some funny, interesting videos. They're fun to watch too. What Stutson Studios is another one. He cracks me up. He's funny. He makes a bunch of miniature type stuff. But man, he's got a pretty funny personality, and when he puts his videos together, they're pretty comical. Very entertaining to watch. See, I know what I like when I watch some of this different stuff, and that's why I subscribe to some of these different people. So that's why I ask what you guys like to see. I jumped so extreme in this yellow lighter paint that I got some pretty harsh gradients. I don't know. I might have to try to pull these in a little bit more. Seems like it took off in a huge jump, and that's probably because I cleaned my deal out here trying to get rid of those paint blocks, and I lost some of that original color that I had. Definitely feel like that's what I did. We'll see though. I'll let it dry out a bit. It's always extreme at first, and it always seems to dry down a little bit darker. So we'll wait here a little bit and see if this yellowish orange here tones down a little bit. Doesn't look like such a nuclear color. Maybe she'll blend out. Yeah, Lupin, that's probably a pretty good idea. I haven't looked into it. I need to learn what the Discord is. And maybe do that through Patreon, because I want to do some more live stuff with just the patrons or whatever. Of course, I got some people out here that aren't patrons, but they do come onto this, and they do show support by throwing up some super chats, which is awesome. So I need to look into the Discord. I don't, I've got my Patreon page, but I don't really understand Patreon a whole lot. So I'm probably not running it the best. And I do feel like I need to put a little more effort into that for those people who have actually dedicated, whatever, the $2 or the $5, whatever it is, price of a cup of coffee or whatever, or a hamburger, a month. Because I want to show them some more appreciation for them supporting like that. So yeah, maybe I should do that live stream type of that, and more the full style tutorials. Because I could probably build, I could probably do a video and edit it with a couple different cameras, and then YouTube be more the faster type of thing or whatever. And then if you wanted, for those people who really, really, really wanted to learn and go more and do more in-depth tutorials, could find that stuff on Patreon. That's one way to do it. It's kind of like putting a paywall up, but man, sometimes I feel like that's wrong, because I want everybody to learn how to experience certain things, and then I look at the fact that I do have people that are on Patreon, which is amazing, and so I feel like I need to do more things for them at the same time, but trying to keep people on YouTube itself, because here's the thing, I appreciate everybody, right? Not just patrons, not just people who super chat and send donations that way. I do appreciate that stuff, but I appreciate everybody, right? Anybody that has taken the time out of their day to watch any of my videos, I think is awesome. I'm just really trying to get this all kind of nailed down. Okay, here we go. Let's let this dry up. Now, see, I'll turn this kind of slow. If I back this up, maybe it'll show a little bit better. Can you see now here how we got this darker gradient that's staying in these valleys, and how we've lightened up, and go back darker, and we've lightened up as we go around? That, to me, creates this really, really cool look. This camera is horrible about picking that up. When I'm all said and done with this, I'll take a picture of this like I did with the pumpkin demon and post it everywhere, so you guys can really see what this does. And if you guys are painting with me at the same time, you can see with your own eyes what this does. It's super cool. I think I'm going to do another one with just this, because as this dries, and I'm just talking BS right now, being slow, because I want to give this a little dry time to see how much that's going to darken down. Because I may go one more layer like this, just a little bit lighter, let that darken down, and then come in with just straight yellows and do some harsh, big highlighting here and there, and pick up, these sections like this, right around the mouth here that's raised up, right here that's raised up, probably the tops of all the way around there. I'll hit some with just straight yellows right in the middle, and then I'll do it again right here on the bottom where they round out. I can't really explain why. I just done it in the past, and I like that, where it looks like it's thinned out, maybe it's bulged out a little bit, got thinner, lighter colors. It seemed to work for the paint schemes in the past, and I dig how it looks. So the same thing we're going to do there. Yeah, Brenda, I watch the Craftsman too. He's funny too. That's yeah, those guys crack me up. I like watching people make stuff. I really enjoy making things and doing stuff like this. And if I'm not doing this type of stuff, I enjoy watching other people make stuff as well. Some of those miniatures, those guys do are pretty cool. And I also seen some of these guys. There's so many there's a guy that's called Black Magic Crafts, so he's all about tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that. But there's a lot of these companies are coming out doing the minis or whatever, and if you, which I don't, but if a person's got a 3D printer, you can go to these companies and get files and print out these cool, things for tabletop games, and you paint them, do whatever with. But let me tell you, some of the creatures that are in some of those kits are awesome the way they look. And I have tossed around the idea of doing some YouTube videos where, giving props to whoever the mini maker is, but taking that mini and basically turning it into a life-size deal, all out of paper mache. I think it'd be fun, because some of that stuff, there's some of that stuff that is so cool. It just blows me away how neat some of that stuff is. It's probably why I like Halloween so much, probably because, and that's probably what I like, fantasy type stuff as well. Like even I don't know how many of you guys have seen the shows, the Maleficent shows from Disney. Those creatures and stuff that they do in that movie are just incredible too. Like, I really dig the things that are like tree guardian guys or whatever, real big tree root type people. Man, those things are really cool too. I like a lot of that stuff. That stuff is really awesome. And I've thought about trying to make some things like that as well. Just so cool. There's so much stuff out there to pull inspiration from, right? Whether it's a movie you've seen or another artist you've seen or whatever, inspiration to go through and just make something. That stuff is awesome. This should start picking up even more of all this transition. I'm getting pretty yellowy with this right now. But like I said, the sealer that I'm going to come back over this again with once this dries, that's got a stain in it, and it's really going to darken this stuff back down again. So I'm going to make it pretty bright now. That way, when I do that, it won't just totally wash out all this stuff. Oh my gosh, I am popular all of a sudden. I don't know why. I've already shut this down once. I don't want to shut it down again. I'd like to get all the way through this. All I need to do is a few more layers of this. We're going to hit that stem with some browns and stuff, and then I'm going to hit all the insides of these eyes with some black. Make them stand out a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Oh, what we got here? Brenda recently gotten a 3D printer. Do you like 3D printer? I've thought about getting one in the past just to play with. Not that I want to make a lot of things with the 3D printer. They have just kind of they've always just kind of intrigued me, so to speak. Thought they were pretty cool. I understand though that like some prints can take like quite a bit of time to get printed out. Which I guess isn't a big deal if you're not, you can just put the file in and walk away and go to work, go run errands or whatever, and let that thing print all by itself. It's not wouldn't be a big deal. It's not like spending 5-6 hours creating like this where you're stuck there. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so quiet. Can you guys see? It's so hard to tell. This camera just doesn't pick it up. Just does not pick that. There is quite a bit of difference between the orange here and then where we are deeper down in here. I probably could have brought this out a little bit wider so this is smaller, you know. It's all kind of personal preference. I think maybe I let some of that go a little too wide. I don't know if I add a little bit of yellows out here, if that'll help. Oh, almost lost you. That might help bring that together a little bit better. We'll try that. Because I like it to stay, you know, I don't like huge gaps. I like it to stay a little bit closer. But when I change that paint, man, that really felt like that kind of threw me in a different direction a little bit. So I'm gonna work on blending some of this down a little more. Oh, it's such a harsh yellow. Okay, I gotta see who's calling. Who's texting? What do I got going on? Okay, let's see. What do we got going on here? Fading in, fading out. That's not looking too bad. I don't think. Let's come back in here a little more. So right now what I'm doing too is I didn't really, so we had these yellows, and to the naked eye is a little bit worse than what you guys see. But I didn't want there to be such a big dark gap. Like this was real big. So what I'm doing right now, ooh, just trying to do just a bit of blending here. To make that not so noticeable. Kind of narrow those down a little bit. They're not just these huge, big, chunky things of dark paint, if that makes sense. So when I changed that out, I wound up changing my paint scheme up a little bit, or my colors up a little bit, which threw me off. So I went so much brighter. that really made all that time and work that I just spent 2 hours doing basically screwed it up. So anyway, a little bit of blendy blend there. I think that's going to be okay. I'm now just going to go to, yep, I'm going to go straight yellow. We're going to do some dry brush on top there, some hits here and around here and then down on the bottom. We're going to call that color good. Move on to the stem, and then we're going to hit black in the eyes. But I am going to go ahead and try to dry this down pretty good right now, because when I do all this yellow, I do want the dry brush yellow to just stand out. I don't want it to really mix with this other paint. So I do want it to dry out. So see, and check this out too. That's where I get so frustrated. As this dries, that was like so light before. It really is darkening it in quite a bit. Basically, almost looking like the other color. And I mean, I know they dry darker. I do this stuff all the time, but every time I do it, I start worrying that yellow is getting too bright and the consistency is coming off too much. And like I back off. And there's times I think that I should probably really done harder and stronger with it. But it's going to work, right? It'll be okay. And then even, here's the thing too, after this is done, as this sets for a couple days, it'll darken down even more, right? I mean, it literally darkens down even more. But yeah, you can really see this. I mean, you can really see some of the difference now. And you guys, you guys are still here, you're troopers. I'm gonna move straight on to straight yellow. And we're gonna get this done. Now we're just straight yellow right over some of these higher sections. And then we can really make some of these higher sections pop. Oh man, so that blows. So you've done squirt guns and stuff, had some fun with that, and they've taken them all down from YouTube because of whatever violating violence rules or something. That's a bummer. All right. To me, this straight yellow really kind of breathes some life into this thing. So now just on the front, I'm really only going to hit like the bottom, the very top, and maybe just a hair, like right like that, right in the center. Mm. Shoulder's starting to hurt. I missed something. What happened? Yes, the final coat of this whole thing will be spar urethane again to clean to cover the whole thing up. Definitely have to get a better camera so you guys can see the color duration in this paint. Mm, right. Don't think I can do makeup. Okay. You guys can't see it. I mean, this really looks freaking. Not even when I get close, you can't see it. Oh, so frustrating. Okay, trust me. The highlights are there. I mean, it really, really, really is there. It looks really good. I'm going to paint the stem. I'm going to move on to the stuff so we can shut this whole thing down here soon. But I will take a picture with my camera, then post this I'll post it on the community tab here on YouTube, and I'll post it on Facebook Paper Mache, and I'll post it on to Patreon too. Because this camera is doing This, no justice. And I don't want you guys to think that you've wasted your time. Those of you who maybe are painting right along, you're going to see this in real life and see what it does. It's a huge difference. So anyway, bear with me. Let me get through this. We will get this done, and then I'm going to see about picking up a camera that does better. I mean, you just can't. You can't see it. I don't even think adding light to that is going to pick up that yellow. It just doesn't come through. That thing just looks orange on here, and it is not. There are some serious highlights going on here, and it just isn't coming through on that. So I'll take pictures, post them here later, guys. It's it looks way. Oh, it just looks way better in real life. So painting the stem. We're gonna paint the stem. All I'm gonna do, I think all I'm gonna do is just this brown, and then probably dry brush a little white over the top. So we can see some detail on that stem, and that's going to be good. And then I'm going to go in and do some black all around the insides of these eyes and stuff. The main part of the real part of the detail in this is this orange variations. I get lazy like this too all the time. I spend a ton of time painting the pumpkin, and then when it comes to the stems and stuff, there's no other way to say it, dude. I just get lazy. Like, how fast can I paint this stem and make it resemble a stem and move on? Because generally, really, all you're seeing, what most people are just paying attention to are is the pumpkin itself, right? That's all they're paying attention to. And I want to go ahead and switch to doing the eyes while the stem kind of dries before I try to dry brush over that. I don't want to pull any of that paint away. And I'm not going to do it with this one. I've done it before where basically I've taken the black and then drug the black paint and let it drip through off the mouth and eyes and stuff. Sometimes it turns out pretty good. Sometimes it doesn't turn out so good. So I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to turn into an epic fail right here at the end when we're so close to being done. Play with that on a later date. But I am going to go right in here with some straight blacks. I like the way these eyes look. With some straight black. Thanks, Wayne. Right, Wayne? Yeah, I think Wayne. No, Hollow Tree Creek. Maybe I don't know. Thank you. It's turned out pretty good. Uh, like I said, I'm gonna have to get a picture of this when we're all done here, and then I'll post it out there so everybody can really see what this pumpkin looks like. Because this camera is not picking it up. Yeah, the lighting in here isn't the best. However, I can take a picture with my camera on my phone in this same lighting, and it will pick up all these colors that this live stream camera is not picking up. So I need to research that. It's probably going to need a better quality camera. Oops, to pick up these details. Yeah. There we get rid of it. Oh. Did you guys see that? Did you see what I did? I grabbed the stem to turn this thing around and move it, forgetting that the stem is, sitting here with wet brown paint on it. Do I have a feather? This is going to get tricky. All right, so I'm going to try to do this mouth. I don't have a whole lot of room inside here. Try to keep from getting black. On the rest of this paint. I almost did it again. I almost grabbed that on top. Probably should have cut this hole here. A little bit bigger. That would have made painting that way, way easier. You're right. Living is super hard to freaking break the habit. Oh, come on. Get out of the way. Yeah, I totally made this. Gosh darn it, pain to get in here and paint. You can get away without painting the inner part of your teeth or eyes or whatever, but I just think it adds depth to the whole thing. Oh, about to do it again. I gotta get this back up here before I grab this stem and really jack things up. All right, nice and quiet, huh? Still 7 of you hanging in here. Amazing. Because I know right now this is pretty boring. Just trying to trace down the insides of these teeth. Like I said, you don't have to do this stuff. These things still look good. Just having the natural pumpkin color in there. I like the outline of the black. It's nothing you'll notice in a yard or anything else, but just kind of sitting around in your house, you will. But I got this so close together when I cut this, I'm almost regretting uh, painting this black inside here. Just because once you do it, you really got to commit to it to make it look decent, because you're not going to go back and match up that orange paint now, not after so many layers of different colors and shades going on. So quiet. Just about getting there. Wish I could do this stuff in more of a live class where everybody was around and actually talking and doing all of it. Orlando, Florida. I don't know. We get quite a bit of rain here in Kansas. Like I've said before, I've water sealed it already with spar urethane. We'll do it again once it's all done. All my stuff sets out in the rain for 30 days of October. I don't bring it in. Everything gets rained on. I allow it to happen. And I've got Mache props that are going on over 8 years now, and they're still rocking and rolling. I mean, I've got Mache props that have lasted longer than store-bought props. I'm not saying that a whole lot of water is good for them. I mean, it's not. But if you sew them upright, they'll make it. They will make it. That, and the only other thing you got to kind of watch for is when you store them, don't store them somewhere where they're wet all the time and in the dark, because no matter what, if they are wet all the time and dark, it will mold. And you want them to be into something that if you have mice around your area, you want to make sure that the mice can't get to them, because the mice will eat into the stuff. And the thing is with mice will eat anything. Like I've seen mice chew through plastic totes. So if you have mice, your best bet is to get rid of the mice before they get rid of your props that you've made. All right, that's good with the black. That stem still looks a little wet. I'm going to hit that real quick with the heat gun, and we'll do a little lighter dry brushing over that. And let's take him off this stand. I don't need that anymore. We can bring him right down to the ground here. I'm getting paint all over everything. How do I have that much yellow paint on the outside of that container? Wow. What a mess. I managed to make a huge mess with paint today. That's lovely. I need to get me a trash can down here too. Trash can would be good. Still need to buy a rolling chair. What brown do I have here? How light is that? No, we'll play with that. I think that'll work. Clear out this brush. Okay, we're gonna hit this stem, boom, and just a little bit light dry brush on it. I'm not gonna go crazy like I said. Trying to pull a whole lot of detail out of that stem because people are going to be looking more at the pumpkin, not the stem. So we'll hit this real quick and we're going to call her done. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for joining and watching and commenting. That's great. Yeah, Cowboys Keith is shopping again. I saw that too. He's been out purchasing and been out seeing what the stores already have out. I saw that too. He cracks me up. One of the last videos I watched here just the other day. Was he at the Cracker Barrel? He's at something like that, which was a place I didn't think would have Halloween stuff, but they do. And there's a Frankenstein t-shirt he bought after he said he wasn't going to buy any more t-shirts. Speaking of t-shirts, my new ones came in the other day. Fitting pretty good. I'm happy with them. All right. That's just a quick dry brush with a lighter brown on there. I need to get up underneath here a little bit better. And that's it. That's all I'm doing to the stem. I'm not going to do anything any crazier with that. I don't think it needs any more detail than that. I do like there's some people out there that make some crazy awesome stems and details, and that they're cool. I enjoy watching that stuff, and I enjoy seeing it. But for my pumpkins that I put out in the yard and that I do, that's enough detail for the stem. Yeah, you can kind of see that, but I'm going to take pictures of this and post it because you're going to be amazed at the difference. Another camera, what this really looks like versus what that camera's showing. It's a whole lot different. But now that we got some black in the mouth and around those eyes, that kind of pops that stuff out when you change the angles. I like that. We got our white on the inside, so here we'll do this real quick. Even just throwing a quick. See, it's not even dark, but just throwing a little light under there. That white back there reflects. The white really, really, really pushes that light back out. That's why I leave them white. And then if you buy those LEDs that have where you can change the colors on them and stuff, make them look red, purple, whatever, and it looks really cool out on Halloween. But this is it. She's done. Hopefully you guys maybe learned something. I hope you guys try to paint this way. You've seen it. Basically, we were an hour and a half in before I had to stop. Now we're in 2 hours. And so, good 4 or 5 hours to paint this way. It's not the fastest way to paint, but it looks really, really good. I always like the results of this type of paint. Yeah, Lupin, he is always hunting dills, that's for sure. Okay, all you guys too. That's one thing. Everybody that's been, let's change this around. Hey, look at my pretty mug. There we go. All you guys that have been following along or are following along and you're painting and you're making this stuff. And I know there's a few of you out there that are playing catch up. When you get these done, email them. Email me if you would like me to show off your pictures, because I would like to show off pictures of you guys that have built along or are catching up. I would like to show off your work. I'd like to do a YouTube video just showing what you guys did and came up with during this process. So I'm going to post in the comments right now my email address. Either email me the pictures if you want to be involved in that, or you can always DM me on Facebook, just send a direct message there, whatever. Get them to me, and I will get them all kind of together and then do a YouTube video. And I'd like to show off your guys' work. So let me put this in real quick. So that right there, that is uh, my email. You guys can always email anytime, whatever with questions or anything else. When I check that email, if I see stuff, I will get back to you guys whenever I can. But that sums it up for this. So we're all done. We've done our cotton ball pumpkin. We made our pumpkin completely out of cotton. Well, mache and then cotton balls. It's got a cool texture. The paint looks good. It's a neat pumpkin. They're lighter than the other ones. Between now, I've had some people that were talking about. I said we could do another pumpkin and do the clay, paper clay with it, and I can show you how I do them now, where I'm doing them all at one time, getting the clay all done, and it's actually quicker. If you guys want to do that, if I can get at least between here, between YouTube and between Facebook or whatever, if I can get at least 15 of you guys that say you would like to do that as another class, going through all that stuff and then doing the clay, then I'll start next weekend. We'll do it all over again. I'll do a different style balloon for a bigger pumpkin, that type of thing. And yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe I won't do, maybe I'll do the same. Maybe I'll do the same size pumpkin. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We'll figure it out. But if you guys want that to happen and you really do want it and you really do want to build along with me and watch that type of stuff, 15 of you, at least 15 of you say you want to do it, then we will do it, or close to 15. So contact me. Either email it to me, let me know, either DM me on Facebook or go to Paper Mache on Facebook, my group there. Say you want the next pumpkin class or whatever, just let me know, or let me know in these comments below, and we'll go that direction. Brenda, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a patron. Love it. And you guys that are patrons too, hit me up on Patreon. Give me some messages. Let me know what you guys would like to do. I need to make some things just addressed towards you guys as well. So we'll try to get all this stuff figured out. Maybe we will do more live class type stuff just for patrons. I don't know. Everything's up in the air. I'm trying to make this a good deal for everybody, but I do need to make. I do need to hit you guys up that are supporting me on a monthly basis. That really means a lot, and you guys need some kind of benefit for that. So anyway, here we go. I'm glad you guys made it. I'm glad you guys made it for a good 4 weeks. We're here at the end. I'm going to take a picture of this with the phone so you guys can see what the paint really looks like, because it looks better than what this camera's showing. And I will catch all you guys on the next one, or hit me up on Facebook or email me, whatever. You all are awesome, especially you troopers that have made it. I've had 8 to 9 to 10 of you that have made it every single time through every single minute of this thing, and you guys are all awesome. I will talk to you all later. I'm going to try to have a good day. You guys have a good day too. Peace.